A special live stream today. Hopefully this won't take too long. I have it all ready to messages. I'm gonna have my community moderation ready. I'm gonna have it to subscribers only. 1 minute. Okay, trying to set up the chat, guys. Give me a second before we start. Okay. Alrighty. Just make sure we got everything set up before we begin. Hello guys. Today we're making a brand new live stream. This one specifically is going to be very special because in this live stream I'm going to be giving my tips and tricks on how to improve life. Now, as a person that goes through most of the challenges in life, still beginning life itself, I want to give you guys tips and tricks on how to improve in life. Now, without further ado, I will begin in a few minutes, guys. Give me just a second, and I will begin the live stream today. Okay, and then making a brand new live stream. This live stream is going to be very special because I'm going to be dedicating myself at making it with all my hearts and joy. We have something very special to make today. So, for you guys that are seeing me for the very first time and want to tune in my live streams, everyone is free to view my live streams and check out my content. But in today's live stream, we will be talking about deep things on how to improve on life. Today's going to be a special one because in today's live stream, I will do something that I don't do in most live streams. And there's a chance that I might do more of these live streams when it comes to these seminars that I'm planning to do in my podcasts, in my upcoming live streams to come. So, today's main title of the seminar is going to be how to become someone you want to become. How to become that exact person you want to turn into. So that today is going to be the same title of today live stream. So, how to improve in life? You guys may be wondering. So, the first thing we're going to be putting in our list today, I'm going to have my notes, by the way, so I can be running it down when we're ready. Okay. See if I got the pen with me. Yes, we do. We got the pen ready. Okay. I'm going to write it down, and I'm going to say it. Number 1. How to become successful. So, that is going to be our main thing of today. The first thing we're going to talk about in this live stream is how to become successful. So, for a lot of the parts on how to become successful and someone successful in life is to always put in plan what you do. Everything you desire, everything you want to become, everything you want to achieve is going to happen. It's going to become part of your life. But the question is, do you propose yourself to become that great person you want to be? Do you want to become someone successful in life? Do you want to make your wishes turn into a reality? That's the main question here. Now, the title of the first question is how to become successful. Well, If you want to become someone successful in life, the first thing to do is, and I'm going to write it down so you guys can go ahead and take notes, is to start with the small problems. In order to achieve bigger problems in life, you have to start with the little ones, like Jim Rohn mentioned once. And that's something that I won't forget ever in my history. In order to become someone who you want to become, you need to think first and analyze who you want to become first before you do that. Because when you take a decision, sometimes, a lot of the times, in this rare occasion, when you take this decision in life, it's going to go either way. Either you go towards that decision you're making, or you can step back and decide, this is not for me. Well, here's the fun part. The fun part is, most of the people decide to stay in the corner of everything, of all the problems, of all the situations, of all the challenges in life. And you know what I tell everyone? If you want to achieve things in life, if you want to make things happen, if you want to change a perspective of your life that you see yourself as, and you want to change other people's lives like yours, you need to be the difference of that friendship, of that conversation, of that communication with that person. In order to achieve a better image of who you are, and you want to be an example of who that person is, you need to start working on yourself. Self-development is what I call it. It's what I was told back in the times. Self-development. We're going to write that down. Be sure to write this down, guys. Self-development. Now, self-development is something that is part of becoming successful, of becoming that person you always wanted to be, of being the difference of every single person in this wide world that we live in. You want to be there? You want to experience it? Do you want to live it? You want to live the real vision? You want to be one of those people out there that has millions of dollars these days? People who really gains a lot of trust and among the community? Well, let me tell you something. I don't have $1 million yet. But I can assure you this. I don't care about the money. I always said this to myself. Ask yourself why I'm still holding back on my project, on my resources, on everything I've always wanted to get. What do you think I've been holding so much? Because money is not the main priority. The main priority here is your self-development and your self-dedication every day. To this day, this project that I've worked on for so many years, of 5 years by the way, goes to show how much of a difference we can be to everyone's lives, including ours. You know, a guy like me that most of the time, the only choice of, that I had to self-develop myself is to stay in the closed doors and do nothing else but be closed doors, because that was me every year. 1, 2 to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years of my life. 5 years that I've been here in this exact same place. You know, a few years after I, a few years after, or rather a few years before, I was always making myself these thoughts of saying, am I really going to get out of here? Am I really going to go out there? Am I going to be able to experience joy? Am I really going to be out there for helping people? Well, here's the thing. I'm going to help people. That's the thing, I will. And there's nothing that's going to stop me from doing so. You know, in my perspective, and we're going to write this down. This is going to be the top number 3. Self-development was number 2. Number 3 is going to be something called always think ahead. Now, what do I mean by always think ahead? A lot of people don't get this phrase. You know, first we did how to become successful. The second part we did was self-development, which is always to improve on yourself. And what is the top number 3, you may wonder? Always think ahead. And that is a phrase that a lot of people misses these days. A phrase in which a lot of people misses to the point. Let me see if I can reset this. Sorry about that. Give me a sec. Okay, we're back at it. Always think ahead. Now, always think ahead is something that a lot of people skip over. And they never get to talk about this. That's the fun part. That's the most interesting part. No one gets to talk about it. You know, it's something that I should say that a lot of people forget, is that instead of reading things, instead of actually applying themselves and actually wanting to achieve something in life, they skip over it. If you guys want this, if you guys want to achieve something, if you guys want to become a millionaire, if you guys want to become someone successful, you guys want to be there for those who need you. In today's era, a lot of people forget that 100% of the times, 50 out of 50, most of the times you'll be there, most of the times you won't be there. That's the most fun part, the most interesting part that a lot of people forget about. A lot of people out there, they go through a lot of things. You want to know something? My mother, she was always working in a always single job. She's been working on that for 3 to 4 years, almost 5 years the way I've been here. You know what she was doing? Always calling people on the phone. Because that was her job, was to help others despite them going through tough moments in life. She was always there, hours after hours after hours after hours of investing her time to help others in need. That's what she used to do every single day. I used to hear her calling the phone number, same phone number every day. I used to hear that every day. 5 years. Imagine how annoying that could be at first. Then I got to the point where I just felt like I got used to it. You know, my mom and my dad, they have their own separate ways. One works at one job, one works at the other. Me being the center of it all. And every day that I see myself as who I am, I start to realize that the more I grow up, the more I change, the more I see myself who I used to be. You know, that little teenager that I used to be back in a few years back, that teenager's gone. The only thing left is just me. Or what's left of it. You know? I know it cuts deep, it does. It cuts deep. You know, a lot of people could leave this live stream and not even care. I don't mind. It's not like no one's been there otherwise. But now that we know, always think ahead. Always think ahead is the main objective of wanting to achieve something that others don't see it the same way. Now, I'm giving the opportunity to my parents to think otherwise. And it's a slow build. It builds slowly. It's not something that goes quickly. It's a slow build. So once they get to figure out their plan, then we can figure it out together. That's my thoughts. And by the day that I grow up fully, by the age of 21, which about 3 years from here, or rather, when I'm 19, obviously, I'm going to propose myself that I'm going to always think ahead. I'm always going to think beyond what other people see things as. For the past few years that I left school, I only got to see fresh faces for like 5 years of difference. And I've been in solitude for like almost 8 years of my life. I've been there as my parents. That's it. No friends, no communication. Otherwise, I could contact whoever I wanted, but not lucky for me. Not lucky for me. Why? Because I'm different. I'm very different. I don't think like other people do. I think very different from other people. And for a guy that has always been there for other people, they haven't thought the same way. Only the people that's done that same thing as my parents. The only people that support me in this world. Now, number 4. Gotta write this down, y'all. Number 4. Write this down, so it's really important. Always be the star of your proposition. Now, what does this mean? What does always be the star of your proposition mean? Those are very deep words, by the way. At first it may seem just like words, but they're not deep. They're not just any words. At first they may not be deep. But the more you hear those words over and over and over and over and over again, you start to realize how much it impacts your life. You know, I've come to realization that every single time that I see myself as, I started asking me this question. What if you could be a coach? What if you can be a guy that can really change people's lives? What if there's someone out there that needs you? Those are my positive thoughts. And they hit hard, emotionally, to the point that I can go tearing up, kneeling on the ground. Because not only is it going to change my life forever, I'm going to my reputation is going to rise up from the level that I'm here. The place that I'm at may look simple, yeah, at first. This was my childhood. See how deep that cuts? My childhood. I had many childhoods. Many of them I lost. Why? Because every part of life is a season. Every part of life is. You know what's something very important? To always be there for those who need you. Because if you're not there for them, for those who need you most in your life, they're not going to be there to be alive otherwise. Now, these are the next 4 things I'm going to tell you guys, written by Jim Rohn himself. I want you guys to write this down as well. I wrote this down from one of his seminars that took long to recover. Number 1. Value makes the difference in results. Now that is something that I had in my head to think over twice. I'm going to repeat it again for those who did not hear it. Value makes the difference in results. Now these are the thoughts that I come to realization that over many years from the past, back in the 1900s, 1985, these words were told in ages in which it felt like it came straight from the future. When I heard those seminars of 1985, back to the 1970s, when I first heard Jim Rohn, because I got inspired heavily from this guy. When I heard this guy, I was like, what? What is this guy? Is this guy a Charles Muntz back in the past? I know, it sounds funny at first. It sounds very similar, because they both look almost similar to each other. Like it's real life Charles Muntz in the time. When I heard this guy talk, I was basically like the guy from the Up movie. I was shocked looking at him. Like Carl, that's his name. I was shocked at the seat watching that video over and over and over and over and over because I couldn't get enough of it. It hit my life so hard that I couldn't move otherwise. I couldn't like move out of the position that I was in. Because a lot of the times it's reality. Now, according to what I said here, or what he said, value makes the difference in results. Now that is something that I should say cuts very deep. Because this is the last thing I'm going to talk about value about this, part number 1 about this thing. Now, the one thing I will tell you guys about the value makes the results, makes a difference in results. When you think about it, that cuts very deep. Because like, the value is your image. And the fact that it says the difference in the results, the difference in the image, the difference in how you look yourself as. That cuts deep. Why? Because when you think about it, he's talking about your appearance, talking about how you see yourself as, talking about how you see yourself compared to the others. Do you see yourself like you should change? Do you see yourself like you should make a difference? Do you see yourself like you're going to achieve something great in life? Because trust me, most of the time, those thoughts hit. Now, I'm going to leave you guys that for you guys to think yourselves, okay? Because it's something that it's unique to think about. Now, working primarily on yourself. This is something that I mainly talked about as one of my things here. Where did I said it? Self-development. I said it. Self-development, working primarily on yourself. You know, you know what my dad told me? My dad came in my room and he said, you know, you're watching this guy. I'm really proud of you for looking at these videos of these guys, of this person. Sorry if I said that. These guys. I said it wrong. Of this person, Jim Ron. You're watching these videos. I'm proud of you, son. Because I know that one day you're going to be double the amount of what he was. Because he was talking about his experiences. Now I have to talk about mine. Now that's called passing the torch. It is really, really special when it comes to that, really. When you think about it, passing the torch, it really has a message. And that's going to be what I'm going to say next. Learn harder on yourself than you do on your job. That is the next message that Jim Ron left before he died. Now, when you come to realization about what he said about learn harder on yourself than you do on your job, that comes to realization that you have to learn that you have to learn more about yourself than you do everyone else, like jobs and things that belong to the government. Things that won't really make you want to reach new heights, to really become who you want to become. That's what that's saying right there. You're not going to dedicate your entire life to the government, with you? No. Yes, you will have to go to certain jobs to gain experience, but you're not going to work there for your entire life. Unless you're passionate about it. That's different. If you're passionate about it, then that's up to you. But when you think about it, if you're in a job, you're not going to gain millions from that. They can be there for almost 80 years of your life. Question is, how long will you be there? Question is, how much do you propose yourself? You could be in a job your entire life. Question is, how much time will you dedicate your family? Do you think that working in a job really would sustain you? No, it's not going to sustain you. Not your family, not yourself. The only thing a job is good for is just for experience. Gaining experience from talking to people, socializing. That's the only thing a job is good for. A job from the government, obviously. You know what I told myself? I told myself, sometimes we all have to think different. And not just sometimes, all the time. You know, it's like when you work at a job, you're only going to gain regular experience, regular amount. How do we say the word? Regular amounts of experiences, obviously. Rather results. That's the word. Not experiences. Results. You're only going to gain regular results being in a regular job. But if you work for yourself, if you work for who you want to become, whether it's voice acting, whether it's being an artist, whether it's being a writer, whether it's being a content creator, whether it's being a live streamer, a vlog creator, it doesn't matter what you do. What matters is that you continue that same perspective of being that person who you want to become. Now that hits harder because you're self-developing who you are. You're improving on who you dedicate yourself as. Now, if I tell you this, you come to realization how deep that hits. Because you're not just self-improving for others, you're self-improving on who you are. Now, the next step of today's live stream is going to be, Opportunity mixed with difficulty. Now this one's very important to analyze. And I want you guys to take these notes with you, because you're going to need it. Now, opportunity mixed with difficulty. Now this is something you guys need to remember. Because when you gain opportunity, you also gain difficulty. Now that difficulty may seem like it's going to make you feel bad at something, but no, it's not going to. That difficulty is going to be the mast of the sail. It's going to shift your direction into your life. It's going to change your personality. It's going to really transform not just your surroundings, but who you are. That right there is called opportunity mixed with difficulty. Yeah, things may be hard. You can take the easy direction. Question is, would it be harder or would it be easier? Ask yourself that. You know which direction I took? I took the difficult path. Because I know that if I take the difficult path, I'm going to learn more than an easy path, obviously. And my life will be more interesting than would it be on the easy path. Life wouldn't be interesting if it wasn't for the dedication, the true effort, the true quality of who you want to be at fullest. If you go the easy path, obviously you're not going to go into that level. You're not going to become that full person. Now, the main objective is, before I finish the live stream in a few minutes from here, is if you were to choose what you want to become, which personality would you want to shift most? I want you guys to think about that today's night. Whether it's night, whether it's morning, whether it's evening, doesn't matter. What matters is you think about this in your thoughts. Analyze, and you'll see how much your life is going to change from today's day to the other. Because you don't know if your family members or if your friends or if someone that goes through a struggle needs this. They probably need an idea. They need that idea. They need that spark. Have you wondered why days have been dark around your surroundings? Well, it's because there's not that spark anymore. And in order to bring it back, obviously, you need to bring that torch back to its place. Now guys, see you guys in the next live stream. I'll be hosting my second seminar. See you guys in the next one. Take care, and I know you can do this. I believe in you. I believe in you guys. What am I even asking? You guys can do anything if you propose yourself as. Like I always say, anything is possible if you believe it's possible. So why hold back? Why wait till tomorrow if you could do it today? I say the same thing. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Appreciate it.